Hello there, everyone. This is Miss Casey with Vivo Kids Art Academy. Welcome to another December Daily Draw. We are on day 27 today. We're almost to the end of the month. Well, I hope you guys had wonderful holidays and spent some beautiful time with your friends, family, and loved ones. And welcome back. Thank you so much for joining in on today's class. Again, this is day 27, and today we are going to be drawing skiing. Now the word is skiing and that's what we're focused on, but I decided to make it pretty fun and have a penguin skiing. We don't really see that too often, so it definitely is a more fun, silly kind of playful drawing, but if you want, feel free instead of a penguin to do a different animal or object skiing. That's totally up to you, but I'll be showing you how to draw a penguin today. And again, the main thing that we're focusing on is that it's skiing. All right, so let's go ahead and get started first with our drawing. So for your drawing, you want to take out your piece of paper, or if you've been using a sketchbook this whole time, you can take your sketchbook out. And again, today is 27. So we're going to write 27 up at the top of our paper, day 27. And then once you have the number written up at the top, we're going to get started with our drawing. Make sure you are using a pencil for your drawing, but I'll be using my Sharpie. And to start, I'm going to show us first how we can draw the body for our penguin. So we're going to come up to the very top. And on the left side, you're going to draw a nice big curve, straight line that curves down. And then you're going to curve that over on the bottom for the left. Bring it up as you reach the middle, and then curve it back out at the bottom. Curve it around for that right side, and bring it back up toward the top. Okay, so you have this kind of like really fancy curvy letter W with really long lines at the top. Now, once you have that, now we have the body of our penguin. We're going to go ahead and add a little beanie at the top and some goggles for since he's skiing. So on the top of our lines that we have, we're going to come to the sides and draw two small rectangles or like squares for the side of our beanie. Okay, and then that's going to be the bottom of our beanie. And then for the goggles, we're going to come on in the inside. And at the top of that line, you're going to draw a nice big rainbow from left to right. Bring that down like a diagonal on the left and down like a diagonal on the right. And then you're going to kind of follow the same shape at the bottom of our penguin. You're going to curve that around at the bottom on the left, bring it up in the middle, and curve it back down on the right. And then you want to follow that same shape and do it again in the inside. So we want the outer part of the goggles and then this part where you can see through. So we're going to draw another rainbow right inside, two shorter diagonal lines along the sides, and then again this little like curved line at the bottom. Okay, so now we have our goggles and we're going to finish up the top of the hat. So at the very top of the goggles, you're just going to draw a rainbow line. Okay, and then a little poof. You can make this little poof of at the top of the beanie however you want. It doesn't have to be super curvy. It can just be a simple circle, or it can be even curlier. That's up to you. So now we have our beanie and our goggles, and then we have our penguin's body. Inside the goggles, if you want, you can add a couple of lines to show that it is a plastic or like a see-through part of the goggles. However, the goggles are at the top of our penguin's head. He has his goggles off, so we'll be able to see his super cute face. So in the middle where you see that curved line at the bottom of the goggles, you're going to draw a curved line like a backward C on that left side, and then a curved line like a regular C on the right. And that's going to be for the top pattern from black to white on the face. Then right under that, that's kind of like the nose, you're going to add two curved lines, like a curved upside down letter V for the top of the beak, and then curve that down for a regular letter V or a curvy letter V for the bottom of the beak. So now we have that nose and that beak, and then as we come up to the top on the left and right side, we're going to add two curved lines like rainbows for the eyes of our penguin. He's having fun. He's having fun skiing, coming down the slopes. So his eyes are closed and he's just enjoying his time. So now that we have that, we're going to go ahead and add a scarf underneath his face that is keeping him nice and warm. So on the left side, make sure it's underneath the beak. You're going to draw a curved line for the left side of the scarf. And on the right side, go ahead and draw another curved line for the right side of the scarf. Once you have those two curved lines, you want to go ahead and connect them with the big curved line from left to right. And same thing for the bottom, big curved line from left to right. Okay, so now you have the scarf, and you just want to go inside where that body was and erase those two lines. And then on the side of the scarf, we're going to make it look like he is, again, going down the slope really fast, so his scarf is being pushed up to the side. So on the top of the scarf, you're going to draw a curved line up, curve it down and back in, kind of like a triangle. And then at the top of that, you're going to add another part of the scarf coming behind it. And again, it's going to look like it's flapping in the wind or getting pushed by the wind. So now that's the end of our scarf. And we're going to continue by drawing a pattern on the side of the penguin's body. So we're seeing the front of the body, which is mainly white, but we are going to be able to see a little bit of the edges in the back that is black on the penguin. So underneath the beanie, we're going to draw a curved line that comes down to the top of the scarf. And same thing for the right side. Underneath the beanie, curved line over to the top of the scarf. That's for the side of the face. Okay, and then we're going to come down to the scarf and we're going to bring our line back again. It's not really going to connect to these lines that we have. We're going to push it back because it comes out and then curves back in. So we're going to draw a curved line that comes down and connects really close in to the bottom on the side of the body. And you want to do the same thing for the right side. Curve it down and connect really close to the bottom of that body. And then as you come up to the top, you're going to kind of raise it up a little bit. You'll see a little bit more of that black detail and pattern on your penguin's body. Okay, so now we have the pattern. Next, what we're going to do is draw our penguin's feet. So at the very bottom of the body, you're going to draw a curved line on the left and then a curved line on the right, kind of like little ovals for the feet. And then we want to draw the arms. Now, we're going to draw the arms connected to the side of the body where the scarf is. So you're going to start on the top, curved line on the top, and then a curved line on the bottom for the left. And same thing for the right side. Curved line for the top and curved line for the bottom. And now that we have the arms, we're going to go ahead and add the poles that you ski with. So we're going to start first with an oval that comes around. It's kind of like a backward C. We don't see the left side because that is going to be where the arm is or the hand is curling around to touch those poles. So we're going to come on the left side here at the bottom and curve that up and bring it in for the hand. Now that you have that, at the very bottom of that handle, you're just going to draw a straight line that comes down. And that's going to be, again, for that pole that you ski with. So somewhere toward the bottom, you're going to add a flat oval and then an X that comes right down the middle. Now you want to do the same thing on the right. So connected to the top of the arm, you're going to add a regular C, but you don't see that right side. And at the bottom, you're going to curve it up and bring it in for the hand that's touching and holding that handle. And at the bottom, you're just going to draw a straight line that comes down. You want to make sure it kind of matches up to that left side. Draw your flat oval and then X in the middle. All right, so now we have our poles and we need the actual skis at the bottom of the penguin's feet. So what we're going to do is on the inside of the feet, we're going to draw a diagonal line down to the left and a diagonal line down to the right. Okay? Once you have that, you're going to go ahead and curve that line up on the left and up on the right. And then from that line, you're going to draw a line that comes over to the left, over to the right. Bring that line down on the left and right and connect it at the bottom That's going to be the front of the skis. And then you're going to not attach the corner, you're going to bring it in inside of that front part of the ski and draw another diagonal line that comes to touch the side of the foot. You want to make sure it comes back. We want to think about perspective, and when things are coming straight at us, they kind of have an angle because they're going back and converging, going back into space. So we have these two diagonal lines that look like they're about to touch, but we don't see it. Okay, so those are our skis, our poles. Now we have finished up our penguin who is skiing, but we're going to add a little hill behind him. So we're going to just draw a curved line up on the left and continue that over to the right. Okay, once you have that curve, you can add some wind action lines to show that he's going down really fast. You can see the wind and him coming down the mountain. So you're going to draw on the top a big swirl line, and then you can add a couple of extra lines at the top of that. And same thing for the right side. Big swirl line and a couple of extra lines at the top. All right, friends, now if there's anything else that you would like to add, any other details, you want to make a pattern on the scarf, on the beanie, you want to have some fun with it, go ahead, get creative, and have fun. But that is going to be the end of our drawing for our penguin there. Once you are done drawing it, then you can go ahead and take a Sharpie or a permanent marker, and you just want to outline all of those lines that you made. Now make sure if you added your own personal details and patterns, you outline those as well. Now you may need some time to outline, so feel free to pause the video and take as much time as you need, and then press play when you're ready to continue in our coloring steps. Now I drew mine with Sharpie, so mine is already outlined. I'm going to go ahead and continue on with our coloring steps. So when you're ready, just press play and continue on. But now for our coloring steps, I'm going to be using marker and chalk pastels. If you would like to use different materials, you can do it, but I'll be starting first with my markers. So here are my markers. Now, I want to remind you guys of the color scheme we've been using all month. We have red, green, a little bit of blue, and black and white, maybe even a little bit of some yellow. However, we have a penguin, and penguins do have beaks and feet. And beaks and feet are usually like an orange color. So I will be using a little bit of orange today, but that's just to get the true nature of my penguin. So what I'm going to be starting with first is coloring in the beanie. Or actually, I want to color in the black areas of my penguin. So I'm going to bring back my Sharpie. And we have the whole outer edge of the penguin's body that will be black. So I'm going to take my my Sharpie, and right on the side of the body, I'm just going to take my Sharpie and fill in this black area. Now, if you would prefer to use black marker instead of Sharpie, because Sharpie may take some time, you can switch to a black marker instead. That's up to you. You just want to fill in the whole side of the body. Now, there's not a big area. Okay. Now, even though you're using a Sharpie, it's very similar to marker. You do want to make sure that you're going nice and carefully, filling in all your white spots. Don't forget this middle part. And then you're going to get the right side as well. All right. So I just have the rest of the body to fill in, just along the sides. And once I am done filling in the side of the body, then I can move on to my markers. And again, if you already started using markers, then you've got it. You'll just continue. All right, so now that my body and the black areas of the penguin are filled in. I'm going to go ahead and put my Sharpie away. And next, I'm going to go ahead and start with coloring in my beanie. Actually, friends, we want the hands to be colored in with black as well. So if you were using your marker, you can go back in with your marker and color in the arms. If you're using a Sharpie, go back in with your Sharpie and color in those arms. Don't forget the hand, but do not confuse it with the handle of that pole. So you're just going to go around, get it colored in. Okay, don't forget the other arm. Now you might cover up a little part of your pole at the top, but that's okay. Alright, so now I'm again coming up to the end, finishing up those black areas. And then we're going to move on to our marker steps. And with the marker, I'm going to first start on the objects that my penguin is wearing, like the scarf and the beanie. Okay, so I'm going to put my Sharpie away. And first I'm going to color in the beanie. I'll be using a red. Now I want to leave the little poof ball white. So I'm just going to go across the top of the goggles. Color the top of the beanie red, fill it in. Now when you're using your markers, you want to make sure you outline first and then fill in with the wider part of your marker and get all those white spots. Now the side part right here is the bottom area of your beanie, so you want to make sure that's the same color. Okay, and then once you have your beanie filled in, I'm going to next get my goggles. Now I want the inside to be clear, make it look, you know, not super harsh, make it look like it's see-through. So I'm going to leave that for my chalk pastels. But I am going to get this outer rim, and I'll be using my gray to keep it neutral. However, if you want to do one of our main colors, maybe blue, maybe green, or if you use green for your beanie, then you can use red. So it's up to you, whatever color you want. Okay, now that I've colored that in, I'm actually going to take a blue and I'm going to outline the lines that I have drawn in the inside where the shield is. Okay, and then I'm going to take a green and color in the scarf. Now you shouldn't have these lines inside because you erased, but they're just small simple lines, so I did not want to redraw that there. So just imagine that they're not there. And I'm just going to outline my scarf. Remember, you always outline first with your markers. Don't forget this outer part that's being pushed to the side by the wind. Once you have that, you can go ahead and fill in that area. Okay. And I'm just going to use nice long strokes up and down, keep it nice and smooth. And when you're all done, you want to make sure to go back in, get your white spots, and fill them in. You can use the tip to fill it in. Okay, go back in, get those white spots. Alrighty. Now that my scarf is filled in, next I'm going to color in the small details of my penguin. So the beak is going to be orange. I did forget a small little detail in my penguin's face that is actually meant to be black. So I'm going to bring back in my Sharpie, or if you're using marker, you want to get this small little center area. That's meant to be black on the face as well. All right. Once you're done filling that in, I'm going to continue with my orange to fill in the feet. I'm going to outline here and fill that in. Okay, now that I've filled in my feet, I'm now going to take a little pink, or you can even do some red just to stick to your color scheme. I'm going to add in a little bit of some cheek marks, show that it's super cold but also super cute. Okay, so now I filled that in. I'm also going to take a red and fill in the handles where the penguin is holding onto the poles, but if you want to do that a different color, you can. I'm going to do mine with red so that they stand out. And then for the actual skis at the bottom of the feet, I'm going to use a gray. So I'm going to outline that. Okay, and then fill that in. Long strokes, nice and neatly, get those white spots. All right, get that, outline, and fill in. All right. Now, once you're done filling in those areas with your with your markers, if you have any other details you need to fill in with your markers, you can go ahead and do that. If you'd like, you can also add in some shading to the little poof ball with your markers. I'm going to take my blue and just come right along the right side and the bottom of that poof ball and add in my shading. Okay, and then lastly, I'm going to go in the background and just add in a little bit more shading with my chalk pastels. So I'm going to move my markers. I'm going to bring out my chalk pastels. And with my chalk, for the snow in the background, I'm going to be using a light blue. So I'm going to take my light blue out, and just along the top of my mountain here, I'm going to go using the edge of my chalk, add in a couple of lines for the top of my mountain. Okay, and then I'm also going to add in a very light amount of color into where the goggles, the see-through part of my goggles are. And then I'm going to take my finger and lightly push that color in and blend it down into the snow just to give it some shading. And then you can also take your blue and add in a little bit of shading underneath your penguin on the bottom area. So you can just take this side, add in a little bit of color along the bottom, and then take your finger and lightly push that in, blend it out. Okay, there you have a shadow in your snow and underneath your penguin. And then if you can also take maybe like a light blue or even a gray and add a little bit of shading in your penguin. So just along those white areas, I'm going to take the edge, lightly add in a little outline in those white areas. And then taking my finger, I'm just going to lightly push that in and add in some shading to my penguin's face and body. Now, if there's any other details or areas you would like to fill in with your chalk pastel, maybe you want to actually add in some color to the sky, you can go ahead and do that. But once you're done adding in some shading and blending out those areas, don't forget your shield on your goggles. But once you're done with that, that is going to be the end of our project today. So wonderful job. I hope you guys had fun making this penguin skiing. But again, if you did something different, you got creative, again, I really hope that you guys had fun. Thank you so much for joining us for day 27. And I hope you guys share your artwork so that way we can see all the amazing creations you guys do. Make sure to come back for another daily draw tomorrow. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.